may remember Cuban Moodley. Now, he's a prominent Gupta-linked businessman who's facing all kinds of allegations, including one having to do with his procurement of tenders for the Gupta family to various SOEs. Now, our understanding is that the Independent Directorate has now filed an urgent contempt of court application after he failed to adhere to a previous court ruling that issued a 232 million rand restraint order against him. It's quite a complex story. Ziyanda will help us decode all those different things, but it's certainly worth you knowing about, and that's why it's on our radar today. The State Capital Commission of Inquiry continues today, of course, taking up much of the news cycle. Yesterday, former Minister Nomvula Mokonyane giving denials and counter-accusations and sometimes what people call deflections. So we're staying with Bosasa-related testimony today. We understand that former Correctional Services Commissioner Lindam T is going to be taking the stand. The nature of his testimony is still largely unclear, but we imagine a whole lot more is going to be revealed about how Bosasa in some instances aided and abetted some of the dodgy dealing that took place over what many people are calling the lost years in the country. Nicholas Bauer continuing on that story for us. In fact, Nicholas will also join us on the show to give us much more detail behind yesterday's testimony. In Durban, in KZN, Premier Sihle Zikalala will release the findings of the stolen PPE in the eThekwini municipality. It's an issue, it appears, that's continuing across the country. You might remember over the weekend there was a foiled robbery at OR Tambo International Airport just outside the cargo area, where about a few people died and about 7 people were arrested when it's understood they were also trying to steal PPE there. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula welcoming the swift arrest of those individuals. I wonder if there'll be any arrests insofar as this story is concerned. Karinda Jagmohan, our reporter in KZN, will bring us those details. Let's take you to the Western Cape now, where the ongoing issue around housing certainly seems to be an issue that is stopping at nothing, for lack of a better term. Eskom now entering the fray and I guess being entangled in that entire saga. The power utility is essentially not sending any technicians to the area in Khayelitsha, that is, because of the ways through which they were treated the last time they were there as the unrest started unfolding. Now, what this has done is obviously A, left all kinds of people in the lurch, in the dark, but B, has also contributed to the mounting frustration there with some residents really, I guess, taking some of the frustrations to the streets and meting out some of these frustrations on Eskom employees. So Atim Tongana is going to be keeping a close eye on this aspect of the story. What's also worth mentioning is that yesterday, Eskom issuing out a statement warning against community members approaching their technicians who are working on site and saying that this is, amongst other things, likely to contribute to the further spread of COVID-19. It's quite an interesting position for Eskom to take. One would have never imagined the power utility issuing a statement about clamping down on COVID-19, but here we are. Atim Tongana will give us those details throughout the course of the day. And a story developing in the Northwest having to do with an issue that we've been watching for quite some time, and that has to do with the scourge of gender-based violence and femicides. Kumuntle Mohosi, you might remember, is a 24-year-old teacher in the Northwest who was found murdered in her room with her hands tied. Now, we understand that the suspect who is arrested in connection with the murder is set to appear in court today.